I'm Robb Ferguson. This is my 1997 Chevy Corvette with the first rocket binding kit for the car. The kit's heavily inspired by vintage C3, C2 style Corvettes. We wanted something really low, really angular. And to keep with the theme, we went ahead and I put a retro-inspired livery on the car. It's inspired off the Speedhut 76 car that ran Le Mans. And our theme for the build is unity, because we're unifying like an American car with Japanese style. So on the driver's side of the car, we have the American flag waving up the side of it. And then on the passenger side of the car, we have the Japanese flag waving up the side of it, because that's where the kit comes from. And that's where a lot of these car parts that I have in the car come from. For my whole life, I pretty much like cars, and the cars that always got my attention when I was younger was anything that had like something going up the side of it, whether it was flames or a flag or something, I would notice it right away. But the big thing I'd always notice were cars that were loud, cars that were low, and cars that had anything sticking out of the hood. And I knew that I wanted to keep the car naturally aspirated, so I was looking around for ITB setups for the car, and this company out of Australia called Redux Racing makes this great bolt-on kit. They make them for drive-by-wire, drive-by-cable, and that's what I went with on the car, and I went ahead and cut out a nice little clean opening so you can see that the car is V8 naturally aspirated. Inside the car, I have like another setup that's basically heavily retro-inspired. So I got the Brid Hystrix carbon back leather seats. I got some cocoa mats going on in the car to make the car look vintage and feel good, because it's good quality stuff. I have a retro sound radio, and my favorite gauges on the market are in the car as well. In keeping with the vintage style, I wanted to put in a Nardi wood grain steering wheel. I don't see very many Corvettes with it, but I think it's a great wheel. It's really nice how these gauges set up really well. If you're willing to cut up your stock harness in your stock gauge cluster, if you have a more modern vehicle, you can make a panel, drill some holes, and the gauges just drop right in. You can wire everything in pretty easily. The kits come with everything you need. If you're running a motor swapped car or a transmission swapped car and have problems with the speed sensor for the speedometer, you can choose a GPS speedometer. So it's very useful. You can customize every feature on the gauges you want. You can choose the different ticks, the different numbers, the different colors, backlighting, bezel, everything can be customized. I just like running something kind of clean and simple, but you can do anything you want with this company, and it's great. I did both triples on this car because I wanted to minimize the amount of gauges I have. So to keep it simple and have two big gauges, I wanted to pack as much in there. This works out really well for me, and I'm really happy to continue to use their products. One of my other features of this car is how wide it lets you go with this kit. The car is very easy to work on. In the back, I'm running 315 Toyo R888Rs. In the front, I'm running 295s. And I have them on some Workmeister L1s. These are 18 by 11.5 and then 18 by 10.5 front. Everything with the setup on this car is something I'm very happy with, and it fits my style like to a point. So on this car, the kit's designed to be very wide, so Rocket Bunny made the kit as wide as possible, as angular as possible, and the front actually goes down really, really low. But in order to make everything else work out, I wanted to make sure I could adjust my height. So I went ahead and installed an AirTech airbag system. They make a bolt-on kit for this car, for the C5, for the C6, and that's what I put on the car. And my setup is tucked away pretty nice. My friend and I went ahead and put a roll cage in this car. We built it in this house, and I made it to where the roll cage would work around the air tank, and the air compressors and everything else is tucked underneath the back of the car. I went ahead and also had cocoa mats make a custom mat cover for the back, so everything kind of flows and follows through the rest of the car. That's pretty much it. But thank you for checking out my car. I appreciate it.